Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, inshallah, today we'll discuss an important topic of this course, Fiqh Muamalat. The topic is today about interest, usury. That is in Arabic we call riba, right? We know that there are some major prohibition in Islamic principles regarding the business and commerce. Uh, the major prohibition Among the major prohibition are one is riba, another one is gharar, and third one is maisir. Okay, and also there are other prohibition that is manipulation, right? Fraud, cheating, right? Artificial price increasing artificially, right? And so on, right? Um, in brief or in short, any kind of misrepresentation, right? Any kind of cheating, fraud is prohibited. Any kind of injustice, right, is prohibited in Muamalat according to Islamic commercial law, right? So riba is the major one. Riba is the major one. The second one is the gharar, uncertainty. The third one is maisir, gambling, right? So the reason of prohibition in riba, gharar, and maisir, so on, among the reasons are injustice, right? Risk-free is a kind of zero-sum game, right? In riba, for example, you are not taking any risk, but you want to ask the return only, right? And also misrepresentation or hiding something, right, or injustice and so on. So we will discuss today about riba definition and the authority on its prohibition, right? And classification of riba, wisdom for its prohibition, and so on. So overall, we will discuss today about riba, about interest, about usury, its definition, its authorization on prohibition, and wisdom, why riba is prohibited, and the types of riba, which is very important. And by this chapter, we will inshallah understand how riba occurs in our transaction and when it could occur. It could be occurred in our transaction, right? So I request you to listen carefully and try to understand. And of course, if anything you don't understand, you can ask question as usual. All right. Okay. So there are basically four fundamental prohibition in Muamalat or in Islam, which is injustice, zulm, riba, gharar, and maisir. Basically, all these three, riba, gharar, maisir, includes injustice, right? In riba also there is injustice because the lender always asks more from the borrower without taking any risk, without doing any effort, right? In gharar also, because gharar means uncertainty, hiding. So you hide something, it means you create injustice to the other party. Maisir, gambling is zero-sum game, so it's also create injustice to the other party. So the next two chapters we will be on gharar and maisir. So this is, I think, chapter 8, right? Yes, chapter 8 on riba and chapter 9 on gharar and chapter 10 will be on maisir. Okay. So riba is one of the major cause of invalidity of a contract. It is associated mostly in credit transaction and currency exchange contract. In our life, in our practical life, normally riba occurs in the credit transaction, right? When we provide credit loan, credit means giving loan. And also when we do the currency, exchange of currency with another currency. But riba also is available in the commodity exchange, right? We will discuss in this chapter. Riba also can occur in the commodity exchange, but in our practical life, we don't have so much practice on commodity because we don't exchange potato with potato, we don't exchange potato with tomato, right? because now everything we exchange with money with the different category. But when humankind was on the barter system, right, in that case, the riba could happen in the commodity exchange because they exchange one commodity in with another commodity. But nowadays, normally we exchange commodity with the money, which is a different type of asset. So there will be no riba in terms of the commodity exchange. That's why it is associated mostly nowadays in the credit transaction and currency exchange. So what is riba? The literal meaning of riba is increase, right? An additional value, an additional amount of money. So riba means what has been claimed or what has been asked contractually from the borrower, right? The extra amount that has been asked to pay from the borrower contractually. I am giving you a loan of 100 ringgit and I am asking you, you pay me 110 ringgit, right? Maybe next month. So we made a contract, right? So this is contractually, I ask you to pay more. That will be riba. However, if non-contractually, because you just pay me because I did you a favor, so you want to make a favor for me, so you want to voluntarily you want to pay me extra something, whether money or any other benefit. But if it is non-contractual, then it will not be riba. But non-contractually also we have to give something more because it will be showing the gratefulness, right? And it will be paying the debt nicely. The Prophet said, what? When you pay, when you settle the debt, settle it nicely. Nicely means do some favor to him as well, as he did favor to you. But that should be non-contractual, right? That should be non-contractual. So riba is an contractual extra amount that has been claimed from the borrower. Okay. So this is the simple understanding of riba. So if we read the book, for example, the scholar Al-Jassas, he mentions it is a loan given for a stipulated period with stipulated increase on the principal payable by the borrower, right? So it is a loan. So he referred the riba is the whole transaction will be the ribawi, the usurious transaction. It is a loan that given to the borrower for a stipulated period, for example, a specific period for 1 month or 6 months with a stipulated increase, let's say 5% or 10% on the principal payable by the borrower, right? So from this definition, we found that what is riba? It is an increase over and above the principal, right? It is some extra amount. And the excess payable is a contractual obligation. Just now I mentioned, remember, it should be contractually. And the excess payable is a contractual obligation. The excess is against a particular period of deferment. Because if, let's say, on cash, it will be 5 ringgit. But if on credit, it will be 10 ringgit. If on credit 6 months, 10%. If, let's say, 1 year, 20%. So you are asking more relating to the period of deferment. The more you delay, the more you have to pay. So that is riba. However, the riba in barter transaction is excluded from this definition. Yes, this definition is focused only riba in the credit transaction, not the barter transaction. Okay, because nowadays it's common for the credit transaction. Okay, another definition, riba is an increase without any corresponding consideration, which has been stipulated in favor of one of the two parties in a contract of exchange. So we got an extra element here. This is an increase without any corresponding consideration. In Islam, in Islamic commercial law or according to Fiqh Muamalat, if you want to gain any benefit, you have to make two things. Either you take the risk and liability, or you make some effort, right? Without doing nothing, you cannot gain anything. There is no zero-sum game in Fiqh Muamalat. There is no benefit out of nothing. That should be out of something. So when the lender asks to pay something more from the borrower, so what is the counter value for that additional amount that the lender has asked from the borrower? For example, I am asking you to pay 10 ringgit more. For what? For what? For nothing. So there is no corresponding consideration. There is no counter value. That's why it is riba. That's why it is not halal. So in any transaction, if any person want to gain something without uh, anything, out of nothing, neither he takes the liability nor he makes some effort. So that will not be, and that should not be halal. That's why there is no zero-sum game. There is no free riding in Islam. You don't do anything, so you just make some money out of nothing, right? So that extra, without any corresponding consideration, that has been stipulated in favor of one of the two parties, right? And it will be enjoyed by only one party, by the lender. So the borrower has to pay, right? That's why it is riba. So this definition says riba is an excess without corresponding consideration, and the increase stipulated in favor of one party only, and that should be in a contract of exchange, right? That should be in a contract of exchange. So this is riba, right? So what is riba? This is an additional amount. So you have to understand, then you can give any definition, any wordings from you, but you have to understand what is riba. There are some wording, some element should be there. For example, riba is an increase, is an additional amount without any counter value, right? Stipulated um, for an specific period of deferment, right? In favor of one party only, right? In an exchange contract. So these are the keyword you have to mention in the definition, and you have to put in the definition the additional amount without any counter value, right? Stipulated for an specific period of time or a specific period of deferment, right? In favor of one party only in the contract of exchange. Okay. So riba is one of the major prohibition in Islam, right? And so riba is prohibited clearly by the Quran and Sunnah. However, as the Sunnah of Islam, what is the Sunnah of Islam? What is Sunnatullah? What is Sunnatul Islam? Is gradually, to follow gradually, right? From the very beginning, there was no salat, no siyam, right? No hajj, nothing, right? And riba also was there, everything was there. But slowly, step by step, Allah revealed uh, all these instruction or all these rituals and all these commands, right? So this is called the graduality or the gradualism, step by step. So in riba also, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited riba, Allah didn't make it overnight, right? Allah has followed some steps. So there are some steps in prohibition of riba, because what the Prophet's wife, the Aisha radiallahu ta'ala has said, if at the first day there was instruction from Allah regarding salat, saum, and all this, people would say, no, we can't do this. It's impossible for us, right? Because the human mind was not prepared for that. They was not ready. The mind was not ready. That's why it was impossible for them to accept. That's why Allah prepare. Allah give them time. to prepare, to make their mind prepared to accept all this instruction, all this ibadat. And then gradually at the final stage, riba has been prohibited finally and ultimately. Okay. So what I am saying, there are some steps in the prohibition of riba. For example, the first revelation, the first verse, Allah mentioned what? If whatever you give for interest to increase in the wealth of people will not increase with Allah. But what you give in zakat, desiring the uh, satisfaction of Allah, those are the multipliers. So this is the first instruction. People used to accept riba, they hope that their wealth will increase. When the borrower, when the lender claim, let's say 10 ringgit extra, so he or she assumes that his money has been increased by 10 ringgit, right? But Allah said, no, there is no actual increase in his wealth, right? So it means the increase or the benefit or the development not always based on the quantity, right? It also based on the quality. So even though by number, the wealth of riba could increase, but by quality, there is no increase. There is no actual increase. It could be damaged by anything, right? There will be no barakah in the riba. That's why we have seen that those people don't care about halal and haram. So actually, there is no barakah. Even though apparently people could think that, oh, they are enjoying a lot, but actually not. Actually, they are not enjoying. But وَمَا أَتَيْتُم مِّن زَكَاةٍ تُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَ اللَّهِ. But if you pay or if you give the loan without riba, right? Because it's like you give sadaqah, you give qardul hasan. Because zakat here, we have a specific meaning of zakat, but when zakat appears as an opposite side of riba, it means giving the loan without interest, without extra, meaning qardul hasan. So if you pay qardul hasan and intending to get the satisfaction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُضِيفُونَ. It will be multiplies. You will get barakah in it. Right? Even though by number there is no increase, but by quality there is increase. Right? So this is the first lesson from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, trying to mention or to say that or to give a message that there is no actual barakah in riba. But the actual barakah is giving the loan without riba. Right? Giving the loan without riba. Second revelation or second command, Allah mentioned that those Ahlul Kitab or Yahud, the Jews, right? They used to take riba while they had been forbidden, right? And um, they consume people's wealth unjustly. That's why Allah had prepared for them a painful punishment. So Allah gave them a punishment, and Allah prepared a painful punishment for them. I mean, for Jews, those who used to take riba and who used to consume other people's money unjustly. So what does it mean? It means when somebody takes riba as if he is consuming other people's wealth unjustly. So he is doing injustice to other people. When the lender asks riba or interest, so as if he or she does injustice to the borrower, and because of that injustice they will be punished in hereafter. Yeah, this is the second command. Third command Allah mentioned, then don't take riba or don't consume riba at a compounding, right? Double and multiplied means compounding, and fear Allah, and you may be successful. So this ayah focus on the not to take riba on compounding basis. So is it mean that can we taking riba is allowed in a simple basis without compounding? No. This is just mentioned as a clause because compounding was so much familiar in that society, right? And compounding interest is a worst crime towards the humanity, right? But this is not the final command. This is not the final instruction, right? The fourth one, Allah mentioned what? Those who consume riba on the day of judgment, the stranger who is being beaten by shaitan into insanity. Means the fourth command is those who used to take riba, they will be crazy on the day of judgment by the touch of shaitan. They will be crazy. Why? Because they said the selling is like riba. There is no difference between buy and riba, right? They fail to realize the difference between buy and riba. Whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has permitted trade and has forbidden the interest, right? So this is the fourth one. And final one, Allah mentioned what? Stop riba. Ittaqullah wadaru ma baqiya mina riba. Fear Allah and give up what remains you interest. That was on the day of Arafah, right? The last Hajj in the life of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned that today is the final day to prohibit riba. So whatever you have, whatever remains, whether 1 ringgit, 2 ringgit, 100 ringgit, just leave it. Just give it up. وَذَرُوا مَا بَقِيَ مِنَ الرِّبَا. Whatever you have did the earlier days is fine. Forget it. But whatever you have now, try to give up. Right. And if you cannot, then be informed of a war against you from Allah and His Messenger. So if you cannot avoid riba, if you cannot stop doing riba, be ready to fight with Allah and His Messenger. So who can fight with Allah and His Messenger? But if you repent, if you stop doing riba, you may have your principle, right? So it means if somebody used to do a ribawi business, let's say a loan shark used to give the loan on the riba basis. So if he wants to stop the business, so he can keep his principal amount, his capital. Only the extra amount that he has taken as riba, he has to dispose it as charity, right? So, for example, let's say a conventional business want to convert to the Islamic, so they can keep only their principal, their capital, not the extra amount, not their profit that they have gained on riba, right? So these are the 5 steps. These are the 5 steps that through these steps, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited riba finally. Okay. So basically, uh, in the Quran, the riba that has been prohibited is riba in the credit transaction, right? Riba in making or taking loan, because this was the common in the Jahiliyyah period. This is also called riba al Jahiliyyah. In pre-Islamic period, people used to take or used to make loan used to take or make riba in the credit transaction. Okay. However, we found another category of riba in Sunnah, which is riba in commodity. In Quran, Allah mentioned only riba regarding riba in credit transaction, but in Sunnah, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned 2 categories. The first category is riba in credit transaction, and second category riba in barter transaction as well. Okay. So what was the riba in Jahiliyyah? Advance a loan by stipulating excess over and above the principal. Increase the payable amount and tenure when the debtor is unable to pay. In a deferred sale, the seller used to increase the amount due and give more time. So in Jahiliyyah period, people used to provide loan based on riba, right? So when the borrower cannot settle the loan on the maturity date, so the lender will say, okay, no problem, increase the interest. I will increase you the due date, right? So let's say the due date is today, so no problem, you can pay me next month, but just make some extra. Now you are paying 10%. So if you want to delay until next month, you have to pay 15% or 20%, right? So that was the practice in Jahiliyyah period, right? So in Hadith also the Prophet mentioned these types of riba. However, Hadith also introduced another new type of riba, which is riba in commodity transaction, right? The Prophet mentioned, be careful, all riba outstanding from the riba prevalent during the pre-Islamic era is void. You are entitled to your principal money, neither shall you oppress nor shall you be oppressed. This was the Prophet's sermon, the Prophet's speech in the farewell, in his the farewell Hajj, right, in Hajjatul Wada, that all riba has been prohibited. However, you can keep your principal amount so that neither you oppress other people nor you will be oppressed by others. La tazlimuna wa la tuzlamun. The Messenger of Allah cursed the one who charges riba. So there will be la'nat, right? The curse from Allah for those who gives riba, for those who records it, and the two witness, saying that they are all equal. So everyone who has involvement in a ribawi transaction by giving riba or by taking riba or by recording it, who is the executive officer or doing job in the conventional bank or giving a witness on this, all are equal in doing in doing the sin, right? So all shall be punished. So this is riba, right? This is riba, very dangerous crime. Because what? Because this is a big injustice towards the humanity, right? So this is the first category of riba that has been mentioned in Sunnah. There is also another category, just now I already mentioned, second category, that is riba in commodity transaction. So that is important for you to understand. The Prophet mentioned what? 6 items that are categorized as ribawi item, right? 6 items that has been categorized as ribawi item, very sensitive to riba. So that's why the Prophet mentioned, when these 6 items you want to exchange, if you exchange with the similar item, then there should not be any increase. It should be at par, at equal in terms of quantity, regardless of the quality, right? But if you exchange with the different item among the six items, if you want to exchange with the different, then you can increase and decrease the quantity, but it should be settled on a spot. Okay. Okay, read the hadith, then I will explain. The Prophet mentioned gold for gold, right? Silver for silver, wheat for wheat, barley for barley, dates for dates, salt for salt. So 6 items: gold, silver, wheat, barley, date, and salt. Like for like means similar in equal weight from hand to hand. So if you want to exchange, for example, gold for gold, there are two conditions. It should be on a spot, hand to hand, and it should be equal weight. For example, 100 grams for 100 grams. 100 grams cannot be for 110 grams. However, if those spices or those species differ, then sell as you like, as long as it is from hand to hand. Means if you make the different item, for example, gold for silver, then you can make it 100 gram gold for 200, 300 silver, no problem. But the settlement should be on a spot. Right. So this is the riba in commodity transaction. So regarding commodity transaction, there are 6 items that is categorized as ribawi item. Ribawi means these are the sensitive item, right? Riba is applicable into these items. So if these 6 items you exchange with the same item, another similar item, there are 2 conditions: the same weight, equal weight, and on a spot. For example, 100 gram gold can be exchanged only 100 gram gold, regardless of the quality, right? Regardless of the quality of the gold. Is it 999.99 or another things? But regardless of the quality, the quantity should be the same. Similarly, wheat for wheat, barley for barley, date for date. Is it first A category date or B category date? That doesn't matter, but it should be the same weight and on a spot. However, if you make the different item, for example, date for salt and gold for silver, then only one condition, there should be on a spot. Okay. So this is just now I explained from forms of riba based on the hadith. A transaction of money for money of the same denomination where the quantity of both sides is not equal, it will be riba. So money for money should be equal. 1 ringgit for 1 ringgit, same denomination. But 1 ringgit for $1, then you can exchange for example, $1 equal to 5 or 4 ringgit. That should be fine, but should be on a spot. A barter transaction between 2 weightable or measurable commodity of the same kind, the quantity on both sides is not equal, then it will be riba. So the quantity should be equal. 1 kg wheat for 1 kg wheat only, 1 kg dates for 1 kg dates, and on a spot. Between 2 different weightable or measurable commodity, the delivery from one side is deferred. This is the second types, right? Let's say 1 kg date with 2 kg wheat is fine, but the settlement should be on a spot. If one side is deferred, then it will be riba. Okay. Okay. So far you understand? Is it clear so far? Okay. Let me finish. Then, if you have question, you can ask. I hope you will understand when I finish. Okay. So you see, so far we discuss 2 types of riba, right? So basically, when we discuss the types of riba, initially 2 types, right? Riba in loan means riba in credit transaction, and riba in the sale transaction, riba in commodity transaction, or riba in sale, riba al-buyu, right? In riba buyu, there are 2 types also. Riba could be by way of extra, riba al-fadl, right? By way of excess. For example, 1 kg wheat for 2 kg wheat. So that will be riba al-fadl. Because in ribawi item, you cannot claim extra. It should be same weight. 1 gram gold for 1 gram gold. So if you ask 2 gram gold, that will be riba al-fadl. Even though you settle on a spot, but that is riba al-fadl because you are asking more. Right. Riba al-nasi'a, this is riba because of the deferment, because of the delay. For example, when you exchange 1 gram gold for 1 gram gold, that's fine. There is no riba al-fadl. But I am giving you 1 gram gold now. You want to give me 1 gram gold next week. You are not giving on a spot. So that is riba because the exchange of gold should be on a spot. The exchange of ribawi item should be on a spot settlement. So if you do not settle on a spot, that will be riba, and that is called riba and nasi'a. Nasi'a means at-ta'khir, delay, deferment, postponement. Okay, so this is called riba and nasi'a. So initially riba in two types. Riba in the credit transaction, for example, making 100 ringgit loan and asking to pay 110 ringgit. Right. Second category, riba in the sale transaction. In sale transaction, riba could be two ways. In riba al-fadl, by asking extra, or riba al-nasi'a, by paying or by settling on credit, by making it on credit. Right. So this is the with example definition. I already mentioned riba al-fadl, exchange of one ribawi item such as dates, wheats, for the same type of commodity but different amount of weight, different amount or weight. For example, 5 kg wheat for 6 kg wheat. Right. 1 kg date for 2 kg dates. Let's say you have A category dates and I have B category date. My date is low quality. So you give me an offer that you will give me A category of dates 1 kg, and I have to give you B category of 2 kg or 1.5 kg. So that is riba, right? Because date is ribawi item, so it can be exchanged only at par, right, with the equal amount. So if we want to exchange, what we have to do? First, we have to make it cash. First, you have to sell your A category dates with money, or first you have to measure it in cash. For example, how much? A category date, 100 ringgit. Okay. How much B category date? And the B category date is, let's say, 50 ringgit. So you make it cash, and then you can buy 2 kg or 3 kg, whatever is available in the market. Okay. But directly 1 kg for 2 kg cannot. First, you have to make it cash, and then with that cash, you can buy whatever you want. Okay, this is the instruction given by the Prophet ﷺ. A man brought some A category dates from the market of Khaybar or from the Khaybar garden, and the Prophet asked, "Is all the dates of Khaybar is A category?" The man said, "No, but we exchange with A category and B category." The Prophet said, "No, no. First you have to sell it, and then you have to buy the B category market." Right. So you have to convert it into the money. That's why the ribawi item first convert should money, and then with that money you can buy another ribawi item in order to avoid riba. Right. In order to avoid riba. Okay. Riba and nasi'a, this is just because of the postponement. Like 5 kg gold exchange for 20 kg silver with a delay of 1 year. Because 5 kg gold for 20 kg silver is fine. There is no issue because it is the different item. Still ribawi item, but the different category. This is the gold, this is the silver. That's why we can make difference in the weight, in the amount. However, only one condition, because that should be on a spot. But if you don't settle on a spot, if you want to make a delay for 1 year, then it will be riba. And this riba is called riba and nasi'a. Riba by way of deferment, delay. Okay, so I hope you understand both types of riba. Riba in loan and riba in the sale. Riba in sale also two types: riba al-fadl and riba and nasi'a. Okay, that is now the question is another important point. We mentioned just now riba in the six ribawi item, right? Mentioned in the hadith. Now the question is it riba in confined only these six item only? I mean, riba is only in the gold, in the silver, in the wheat, in the barley, and in the dates, in the salt only, or we can extend this ruling to another item as well. We can do qiyas or not. Remember, qiyas is another source uh, of Sharia, right? Qiyas means the deductive analogy. We compare something available. Uh, we compare a new case with an existing case, right? So six item is mentioned in the hadith. So riba only applicable into these six item, or we can extend this ruling to another item. So of course we can extend, but when we extend, what is the illah? What is the bridge between the new case and the existing case? If you remember, we discussed in qiyas, right? There should have an illah. For example, khamar, liquor is haram, mentioned in the Quran, right? But the new item of drug, is it haram? Yes, it is haram, based on qiyas with khamar. But what is the connecting bridge between the khamar and the new item of drug? This is called illah, right? The common attribute, the bridge. So what is the bridge? There should have bridge. There should have illah. So in the riba, scholar of different schools, they provide the different types of illah. But what is common, we found that for first two items, the gold and silver, the illah is having or being currency, being medium of exchange, right? So whatever currency is available on the earth will be fall under this category. Right? For example, instead of gold for gold, let's say ringgit for ringgit. Same ruling, the same hukum. We can exchange only one ringgit for one ringgit. But if different currency, one ringgit for dollars, then we can make it unequal. For example, four ringgits for $1, but the only one condition, that is on a spot. So all scholars agree overall that the illah in gold and silver is the currency value, right? And the illah of another four items is food stuff, right? Food item. So even though Hanafi Hanbali school, they said the illah is something that can weightable or measurable, right? But however, Shafi and Maliki, they said it is food stuff. So overall, the food stuff also can be weightable and measurable. So we got two illah for two category of the items. For gold and silver, the item is currency value, means being medium of exchange. And for another four items, wheat, date, barley, salt, the illah is food stuff. So any kind of food, let's say potato. Potato, 1 kg potato can exchange only 1 kg potato. If you want 1 kg for 1.5 kg, riba. But 1 kg potato can exchange for 2 kg tomato. I think nowadays tomato is expensive than potato, so make it otherwise. 2 kg potato for 1 kg tomato, it's fine. But one condition, on a spot, right? Exchange with the same item, there are two conditions: the equality and on a spot. Exchange with different item among the ribawi item, only one condition, that is on a spot. Okay, I hope you understand. So this is the summary of the ruling of riba. If you understand these slides, you will understand the whole chapter. So let's say the same category. Same category means either it is medium of exchange currency value or is it food stuff, right? So if it is same category and same type, let's say gold with gold, then two condition, spot exchange and should be equal regardless of the quality. Okay? Same category but different type, gold with silver, wheat with rice. Okay, so in that case only one condition, a spot exchange. The inequality is permitted, means the equality is not a condition here because it is different type, right? Different category and different type. Gold is the currency value, wheat is the food stuff, right? So category also different, type also different. So there is no problem. Delay also permitted and inequality also permitted. Means riba is not applicable here. Currency with date, right? Currency is the first category, gold and silver. Date is the food stuff, but there is no issue. We can make it delay also. We can make it unequal. For example, when we exchange with money, you can buy it with 10 ringgits. You can buy whatever potato you can buy, no problem. And you can make it also on credit, right? There is no condition to make it on a spot, right? And another ribawi and non-ribawi item like currency with vehicle, dollar with furniture. So there is no issue. Can make it delay and can make it unequal. Two non-ribawi item, cloth with birch, bricks with sand. So also there is no issue, right? So I request you after finishing my lecture, you focus few minutes or few moments in these slides, right? Then you can understand the everything. So only we have to be careful with the first two category, right? If we exchange with the same category in same type, for example, currency for currency, then we have to maintain two conditions, spot and equality. If same category but different type, currency but one type of currency with another type of currency, like ringgit for dollar, then only a spot exchange. Inequality is okay. That's why when we do the forex, in the forex, the important things is, or when we do the money transfer and a money currency exchange, so we have to make sure that we settle on a spot. On a spot means if any settlement, let's say the check clearance or any other things needs few days, few working days as a customary practice, let's say sometime 3 days, 5 days it takes to be credited into your account, but that 5 working days is considered spot exchange, right? Because this is normal. But to go beyond the customary practice or beyond the whatever is needed, it will not be considered spot exchange. But with different currency, inequality is okay. But if you exchange with the same currency, then the first one, spot exchange and the equality. The rest is okay. There is no issue of riba. Okay. So you can watch this video. You will understand the wisdom for the prohibition of riba. This is the former president of Nigeria. He mentioned that in 1985 or 1986, they borrowed 5 billion, right? And they already paid 16 billion, but still they have loaned about 28 billion. You see how the compounding interest is killing the whole nation, the humanity. The original loan was 5 billion, so they settled already 16 billion, but still they have outstanding loan 28 billion. This is called compounding interest. Right. Right. So if you ask me what is the worst thing in the world, the president was saying, I will say it is compound interest. Okay. That's why Allah prohibited riba. This is the worst crime towards the humanity. It destroys everything. The human nature, the original nature of a human being is a kindness, love, compassion, cooperation, right? Living in a society, maintaining some values. Everything has been devastated and destroyed by this compounding or this interest-based practice. Hmm? That's why, because of this interest, we forgot to help other people. Forget about doing sadaqah and other things. Even we don't want to give Qardul Hasan. Qardul Hasan, I will get back my money, but still people don't want to give Qardul Hasan because of this system, because of this interest-based system, right? That's why it is haram. So what are the dangers of riba? Injustice, right? Zulm, no economic gain, conflict with the spirit of brotherhood, major contribute towards the inflation, causes depression for the debtor, a sure gain for the creditor without any possibility of loss, a monopoly in society. That's why only rich people they will be benefited. They will be more richer, more richer. And poor guy, for the poor guy, nothing. You know the worst thing in the banking system, there is only loan for the rich people, those who have the credit worthiness, who have already the money, they will get the money. Another worst thing is they will get the money at a cheaper price compared to the poor people. You see, when in the SME loan is more expensive than the corporate loan. For example, SME is used to have, for example, in my country, SME used to have double digit 20, around 20%, while the corporate loan is single digit, or maybe 10 or 9, 10, 12, like that. So always SME loan is double. What is the reason? They said because it's not secured. They don't have much collateral. The credit risk is very high. The risk of default. But whatever. So you are paying money to someone who have already money and at a cheaper price. But the real case should be otherwise, right? The poor guy, they should get the cheaper loan compared to the rich man. So that's why um, we are seeing that the gap is going higher and higher, larger and larger. Even though there is a nice slogan of financial inclusion, this and that, but ultimately nothing because of this system, because of this interest-based system, right? Okay. So the Islamic principle, there is a legal maxim says any benefit provided to the creditor by the debtor in a debt transaction is a riba. So any simple benefit you are taking out of making a loan is riba. For example, let's say you need 1,000 ringgit. So your friend give you a loan 1,000 ringgit, but your friend makes a condition. Okay, I will give you loan. You have to give me your car for 1 week, right? So I will drive your car, and then when you pay, I will you pay back. Then I will return your car. So enjoying the car is riba because this benefit he is asking, or this benefit is given out of this loan, right? So any benefit, right, is provided, is given because of making a loan is riba, but contractually. That's the point, contractually. But if let's say non-contractually, you say, okay, friend, since you give me 1,000 ringgit, okay, let's enjoy my car for 1 week or for 2 days, 3 days. I give you free, willingly. That's fine. That's fine. There is no issue. But if it is contractually, then it is riba. There are some other forms of riba, like bayul wafa. Wafa means also, just now I mentioned this example exactly bayul wafa. You pay me loan, I will give you my car. So when you pay back your loan, I will return your car to you. Right. So what I am enjoying, I'm driving, I'm riding in your car, all these benefit, it is riba because it is out of loan. It is because of loan. Right. Da'wa ta'ajjul. Da'wa ta'ajjul means uh, you pay early, I will give you discount. You pay late, I will charge you more. This is riba. For example, nowadays in Islamic banks, there is a practice of rebate, right? They call IBRA. IBRA. For early settlement, the bank will give some discount. So, however, if IBRA is given non-contractually, voluntarily, then there will be no issue. But if it is contractually, then it is riba because you are relating the amount with the duration, with the deferment. If you pay advance, you pay early settlement. If you make early settlement, I will discount in your amount. So it is riba contractually. But if there is no contractually, just bank gives some rebate willingly, there is no issue. But in the real case, when something become common as a common customary practice, that is as like the condition in the contract, right? This is the legal maxim. What is being common by the custom is like as a condition in the contract. So nowadays, for example, in Malaysia, in home financing, in Islamic credit card, there is in other products also there is a practice of IBRA rebate. So that IBRA is controversial because it becomes common. Everybody knows that if I pay early, bank will give me rebate. So that practice is similar to the riba, right? Okay, I think okay. There is one condition. What will be one question? What will be repayment of debt while the purchasing power of the currency has been reduced due to the inflation? Let's say I make you a loan last month. The ringgit value was compared to the dollar was high, and now it has been reduced. So, what will be repayment? Should I ask you the same amount, or you have to pay some extra to make it the equal value? So, there are two options. It should be paid by the existing value of the currency. It means if the loan was 1,000 ringgit, still you pay me 1,000 ringgit, regardless of the value of the currency. That will be more justice, more fairness. There will be no issue. But if you existing value, then justice. But if you paid by the equal amount borrowed, then there will be riba, uncertainty, and injustice for the borrower. Right? So to me, for in this situation, I think regardless if there is not much difference, then the equal amount should be paid. That will be better. Um, let's say the loan was 100 ringgit or 1,000 ringgit, and the payment also should be 1,000 ringgit. No problem. But the borrower can give some extra willingly, not contractually, to cope up the loss that has been made because of the inflation. Right? Okay, there are some confusion. For example, some people think only compound interest is prohibited, not the simple. It means they said we can take one time riba, no issue, because there is not big injustice. But in actual sense, simple and compounding both are prohibited. Yes, compounding is more worse than the simple interest, but still both are prohibited. Another confusion: no riba on commercial loan. Some people say, okay, he's taking my money, he will do some business, so he will make profit. What I will get? I get nothing. So since he is making the profit, so he can share some profit with me. That's why no riba on commercial loan. We can say, yes, fine. Yes, fine. But if he makes loss, so will you bear the loss as well proportionately? No. So you just want to take profit, not loss. Isn't it injustice? So if you want to enjoy the profit, you have to bear the loss as well. Right? Only profit, it will be riba. So do partnership. If you want to enjoy the profit, do partnership and share the profit and loss both. Right. Riba is a basic necessity for contemporary economy. This is another stupid logic. But instead, riba is a harmful element, is a detrimental disaster for the economy. It's not the necessity, it's a big disaster. Prohibition of bank interest is a matter of disagreement among the scholars. Some people try to misuse the scholar's opinion in the bank interest, but actually not. The bank interest is prohibited, there is no issue. But the disagreement in identifying the ribawi transaction. Let's say a bank want to introduce a new project or new product, and that product can be presented in front of many scholars. So some scholars could found there is element of something that relates to the riba. There are some scholars maybe they found that there is no issue. So that is the subject to the ijtihad of the scholars regarding the availability of riba in a certain project, in a specific project, right? It's not the in general banking interest. Generally, the bank interest is haram. There is no issue. The issue only to identifying the elements of riba in a specific project, right? Because that is based on the discussion, based on the ijtihad, based on the understanding of the human mind. So that could be different. So there are two things. These are the two separate things. In general, the bank interest is haram, no issue. But what the controversy? The controversy is to identifying the riba in a certain project or certain product. Let's say if a new product has been presented in front of the scholars, there could have different opinion among the scholars. So based on that opinion, we cannot say that the scholar have disagreement in the prohibition of riba. No, the riba is prohibited. There is no issue. The issue is to identifying riba in a certain project or certain product. Right. So I hope you understand the difference. Okay, I think that's all. We discussed today the whole concept of riba, the definition, the types, the application, right? The two category of riba, the ribawi items, whether the riba is limited to the ribawi items or it could be extended to other items as well. What is the illah, right? And what is the wisdom behind riba, prohibition of riba, and some doubts or some confusion regarding the riba. Okay. Okay, now you can ask the question. These are the some review question. What about investment, halal or not? Investment in general is halal, but we have to investigate the project. In what project you want to make investment? This is very general question, right? Investment, we have to make investment. Islam says you cannot keep your money idle. If you put your money under the pillow or under the ground, the inflation will eat up your money, right? That's why you have to put it circulation. This is circulation of wealth is one of the maqasid of wealth, one of the maqasid in the finance. So of course we have to put our money circulation in investment, but the project of and the scope of investment we have to investigate whether it is halal or haram. So for example, security commissions of Malaysia, they have Sharia index or Sharia screening process, right? In Sharia screening process, they identified some category of business as a non-compliant. For example, business involved riba, business involved tobacco, pornography, illegal entertainment, right, and other things. So if the business is halal, the investment is halal. If the business is haram, the investment is haram. That's the answer. Okay, but we have to make our money in. We have to put our money in investment. We have to invest our money. Okay. Any other question? Okay. Any other question? Okay. If we want to exchange USD with gold, what is the ruling? Let's say we want to exchange the gold with the dollar. So, what is the requirement? Is it riba? And when it will be riba and when it will not be riba? Anybody can answer? USD with gold. Oh, sorry, with USD versus gold. You can answer in the chat box. USD with gold. What is the condition? Cash with check. If you want to exchange the cash money with the check, so what are the conditions? What are the requirements? The money need to be paid at the same value of the gold. I think not a riba because gold's value can be known, so can pay with USD. Remember, you have to relate to the condition. There are only two conditions, right? If it is the same item, then equal amount and on a spot. If it is with different item, then only on a spot. what Ammar mentioned, the money need to pay at the same value of the gold. What do you mean by same value? It can be any amount because gold is a different item than the money, right? So can be any amount. Let's say the 100 ringgit gold, but we can exchange with 200 ringgit because we are exchanging ringgit with the gold, right? So different item. Ringgit one item of medium of exchange, gold another item. So can be any amount. Number one is it can be any amount, right? Any amount we agree, but only one condition that but shall be on a spot. Means a spot settlement because it is ribawi item, so we cannot make it on credit or on deferment, right? This is the thing. Can be any amount, but shall be on a spot. Okay. Yes, can pay with USD, but we are talking about the amount. Is it should be equal or not? So when different item, there is no necessary, right? But only one condition on a spot. What about the second question? The cash with check. If we want to exchange a check with cash, can we? What we should be observe? What we should observe? Let's say I need cash, but I don't have time to go to the bank. So I give you a check. So I will take cash from you. Uh, Cash with check in the same currency, right? Let's say I need ringgit, so I make a check with the ringgit with same currency. In my opinion, it is not riba. Of course, it is riba because it is ribawi item. If you don't follow the rules, then it will be riba. If you follow the rules, it will not be riba because we are talking about the money, cash. So cash is ribawi item, right? Gold and silver. So that's why we have to observe. We have to follow the rules. So what is the rules? The amount of check should be the same as the amount intended to give in cash. Yes, this is the right answer. The amount should be same. But another condition is it should be on a spot because this is ribawi item. And if the same currency, it means it is same item, like gold for gold, right? And then both conditions should be fulfilled. The same amount and on a spot, right? Let's say I give you cash, I give you check, so you have to give me cash now, right? Because I'm exchanging. I'm not asking you to go to the bank and to withdraw cash for me. That is another thing. But here I'm doing exchange, right? Because I don't have time, so I write a check for you, but and I'm taking cash from you. So if it is the same currency, then it should be same amount and on a spot. But if it is different currency, let's say I need dollar, so you have dollars. So I am giving you cash because I'm in Malaysia, so my check in the Malaysian ringgit. So I am paying you the ringgit by check, but I am taking USD from you. So means it is with different currency. So since it is different currency, we can make a different amount based on our agreement. Let's say I'm taking 100 USD from you by check. So 100 USD, I can pay you by check for 450 RM. But the point is, on spot, right? Understand? So remember, first you have to identify whether it is ribawi item or not. If because gold, money, silver, all these are the ribawi item. Ribawi means it is very sensitive for riba. So ribawi means we have to follow the requirement. We have to follow the rules. So if ribawi item, there are only two rules of thumb. One is if it is the same item, then it should be equal amount and should be on spot. Like if we exchange the cash and check both in the ringgit. But if it is different item, like if we exchange cash and check but different currency, USD with the ringgit, then we can make any different amount as we want. But only one condition we have to follow, that is on a spot, right? Otherwise, it will be riba and nasi'a. But if we make it unequal, let's say we are exchanging cash for check in Malaysian ringgit, but we are not making equal. Let's say 100 RM for 90 RM because you are giving me cash, I am giving you check, so you have to go to the bank. That's why you are asking discount, or you want to pay less. So 100 RM for 90 RM and on deferred. You want to pay tomorrow. So in this case, both riba is happening. The first one is riba al-fadl because 100 RM for 90 RM, riba al-fadl, and on deferred riba an-nasi'a, right? Because the ribawi item should be on a spot. So when we make a delay, so it happening riba an-nasi'a, right? So both riba al-fadl and riba an-nasi'a occur in this case, right? Understand? But if it is 100 RM for 90 RM, but on a spot, then only riba al-fadl, riba by excess. Okay? Okay. Okay. I think we should stop here today. So I think for better understanding, you have to go through the slides again and focus especially on ribawi item and the summary of the rulings of riba. And if you have any confusion or any question, you can ask. Maybe we will do a revision in the next session, in the beginning of the next session for better understanding. Okay. So is there any further question? Okay. So if no further question, so we may close our session here today, inshallah. So thank you very much. I hope you understand, and once you read more, you will understand, inshallah. Thank you very much. سبحانك اللهم استغفرك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وأتوب إليك أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر Billahi tawfiq wal hidayah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.